Just one more. Couldn't resist.
It's spooky. It's a spooky episode. I can't control it. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the after show. Here we go.
Yeah. That's what happens right after the show.
Hello.
Start talking.
It's me, the hello man.
Hello. If anybody
I
missed last
apologize. Apologies to Open Bayou. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Just,
for whatever
come
reason,
over
I
here.
just
Turns out we have
Accept
one
his
more
apology.
round of apologizes for. Justin Robert Young
Justin
apologizes
for calling. I know. I mean, Open Bayou basically writes the jury podcast now because I've gotten to more of like a news format, and he is like the man who writes, who just submits all the best links. So I love you. You know I love you, Open Bayou.
Right back at you.
Right back at you, he says.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I heard him. I hear him.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
We
Sometimes
got a
the mics-
connection. We got a connection.
Oh, you got a little thing. Yeah. Of course, the Yes Man died last week, so unfortunately, we don't have the Yes.
Not even his ghost.
Oh,
I mean, of Halloween of all days.
I know it's spooky.
Look, maybe that'll be a Christmas miracle. Maybe
Oh.
it'll be a Hallmark. The Yes Man comes to town.
60 days from now, we gotta wait 8 more episodes for the Yes. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody
this-
can find the fucking song.
It sounds like it sounds like there are multiple issues here with the Yes Man. I don't know if that one of them.
I don't know,
if the Yes Man needs to get RMA'd to China or something.
I didn't hear the song play. So you problem.
By the way, Bonnie is texting me saying like, by the way, totally, definitely for reals knew it was going to be a hanging man thing, and I just didn't want to make it weird. That's why I said man, woman dancing.
Wait, really? So she could have won?
Well, yes.
I guess so, but you have to play. We say this on the Marbles stream all the time. You have to play to win. You cannot win if you do not play.
That's a fair point.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't say were a man hanging.
Whether
from a
you
tree.
think you can or you think you can't, that's a hanging man.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
There is no man
you're only-
in can't. There's most of it, but
You're only one hanging man away from your dreams.
Hey, let's take a look at Showbot, showbot.tv,
Tear
nightattack.showbot.tv.
that puss down.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat is very good. I do like that one. Mutual destruction of your puss.
All these people with their soundboards can go fuck themselves.
Now, that sounds very pointed, Ren. I do.
Yeah, that's just a real mean thing to say.
it makes
Keep
me
your
sad.
laws off my claws. That would actually be a really good bumper sticker.
Truck.
Gather
Unts
around
is
the
very
judging
funny.
tree is really funny.
Gather on the judging tree. The other C word, sea level. Hey, maybe you could be funny? Szechuan sticker.
That was schwa sticker.
Szechuan.
No, I was swan sticker.
Now in 3Ks is Bryce the Ripper. No, hey. The Juding trees and misspelling. The pedo bear joke. The perfect pedo bear joke. Keep your laws off my bras.
That was actually what was said.
That's what she
Free
said.
Gary is low key hilarious.
I don't even remember Free Gary now.
Oh,
That was keep your laws off my Johns.
yeah. And then under
Gary.
Free Gary.
What a Free Gary. Hard-working men working hard on me. Let's see. The professional gamer. Trick or treat. It's a sex move. Murder of exclusively women.
Mrs. Don't You Know Who I Am? Oh.
Mrs. Don't Fire. Get off my Ivy. Jeep X2. Mrs. Jeep. Keep your laws off my.
I'm sorry. It sounded like you had a story there. Guess who got his woman a Fiat? Does he fuck the
Oh, I'm
cake?
looking at the small screen here, and I thought it said fist, and I forgot that was about Fiat.
There was
Science is
another
kind of an
fisting
art.
joke though.
Snoop
Snoop
Dogg,
Dogg,
raunchy hypnotist.
The raunchy hypnotist. That's a really good one.
Game Theory Brushwood. Hey, that's all.
Sad
Capitalist. Swan sticker. Only missing ASAP Rocky. The clip Bryce doesn't want to. We were all in 4F. 4F was insanely
4F.
4F was pretty good. Pretty good. I've been reading too much about fucking Frank Sinatra avoiding the war.
Even numbers for K's, special K, trickle treat economics. All right, let's go to the top here at the Showbot. Trickle treats at the top here. I feel like that's a pretty solid one.
Yeah.
Trick or treat's a good one for a Halloween episode.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for this spooky edition of Night Attack. I'm gonna write an email here, and I got some more apologizes for if you want to do some outtakes here. In just a minute.
Hell yeah.
But in the meantime, why don't you
Apologies, they're great.
talk to the people?
Yeah, man. Brian, you got any big like movies that are on the horizon for you? You're excited for?
I really don't, man. I did. Do you have a chance to go see Parasite while it's still in theaters, or
Likely. Yeah. I mean,
think
I'll
probably the next movie I'll see will have to be on Netflix because I didn't know that. Like, I guess I totally missed My Name Is Dolomite, which I was really excited about.
Well, it was only in it. That was one of those like Netflix is putting it in theaters just so it can qualify for awards. So I think it was only in theaters for like a week and a half, and then it popped on Netflix.
Yeah, everybody should go see Parasite.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Do
It's
you want to
in such
watch on the
limited
plane
release.
coming back?
Say what?
The movie I saw on the plane coming back was Creed 2. Creed 2 was like very good. I don't know why I hadn't seen it up until then because I really liked Creed. This one isn't directed by Ryan Coogler, but it's just like a really good sports franchise and like a wasteland of bad movies about sports. It was like really good.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Creed movies, but I've heard nothing but good stuff about both of them.
Yeah, if you like Black Panther,
Oh,
eliminate all the other stuff about Black Panther, and you have the same director and actor.
what do you think of the Ryan Johnson Knives Out thing? The whodunit?
I mean, I really like Ryan Johnson movies. I know that inexplicably became a controversial thing to say a couple of years ago, but even Brothers Bloom, which would be not my favorite of his, I really liked. And like, I think this has all like every good actor. And for whatever reason, now James Bond only does Southern accents because he did a Southern accent in that like NASCAR Steven Soderbergh movie. That's like his new favorite thing to do.
There's not a reason that Ryan Johnson is controversial outside of just some fussy people not liking his Star Wars movie, is there?
Oh, yeah. He ruined it. He ruined Luke.
I really I enjoyed it.
I walked out of the theater. My phone had died walking into that movie. And I walked out saying like, this is going to be like the most popular Star Wars movie that's ever come out. Like it takes the characters in new directions. Like there's all this new kind of elements to it. Things that you had never seen in a Star Wars movie kind of happen in it. This is going to be really, really popular. And then I plugged my phone into Mitsula's thing and it charged up. And boy, was I wrong. I was very wrong. Divisive film, as it turns out.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how we'll feel about it after this last one.
I think you actually nailed it though. Like that's kind of the thing with these Star Wars movies is I've liked both the previous main ones, the Rogue Ones and the Solos, like take or leave. But those first two I really liked, but you nailed it when you were like, yeah, I don't really have any through lines that I care about. There's like really no elements of things that happened before aside from like, they're just kind of really cool action figures that I like. And I hope that we come up with some really cool fighting this time and they use their weapons cool because I like the characters. There's just no lingering element. Like, do I care if Kylo Ren cries because he killed his father? No, not really. Do I care if Rey finds out she's some fancy person? No. I mean, I just want her to be happy. Whatever Ray wants to do. That's I'm just like, the uncle at Thanksgiving that's just here for whatever everybody else. I think it's fine. Go do it. Live your life, Star Wars kids.
All right, serious Star Wars related question since we're coming up on Halloween. And this is mainly based on comments I'm receiving on the Mono Rogue channel, but yes or no, can I pull off a young Obi-Wan Kenobi cosplay?
You can 100%. Yeah. Oh, totally. No, you could do the Ewan level, like prequels Obi-Wan 100%.
All right.
I'd buy that. How's it like living the beard life? Because now you have a universally recognized amazing beard.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. I don't know how long I'm gonna do it, but it's like part of me wants to trim it, but then another part of me says, "Hey, man, you and I both know there's going to be a time you got to go back to classic Brian. So why don't we enjoy crazy hippie Brian as long as we can?"
So what are the big pros and cons so far of having? Because have you ever had a beard this long for this amount of time?
Never. In fact, I started to grow it out, but I still had my top hair short, so it looked very unbalanced and weird. So this is the first time that I also grew out the hair on top, so everything seems balanced, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So never had facial hair this long. Have not had top hair this long since college.
So this is a big thing, and also, unlike everybody else listening, or most everybody else listening, you have to actually deal with people responding to your physical appearance on a daily basis because you do so much video work on the internet. So
on screen stuff, yeah.
Is it well received?
Seems to be. There was a brief moment that there was like a brief wave of like, what is that toupee on Brian's head? And then that was counterbalanced by like a 3-to-1 ratio of like, oh my God, he looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then, and then now, it's generally positively received all the way across. Which have you
gotten food and stuff or drinking the beard or the mustache?
Yeah, okay, that is new, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm against that because there's no way for you to know. There ain't no eyes in your beards. Turns out that face pubes don't have eyes.
You get a little bit of a sixth sense the longer you have it.
Yeah. Is it mainly
you understand the physics?
Is it mainly just reading the reactions of those around you when they're like, "Oh yeah"?
No, you can kind of feel it. It like you become one with the beard at a certain point. The one thing I would say is, you got to make sure that you keep. It's the hot dog rule, is what I call it. Is if you're gonna eat a hot dog with ketchup, mustard, sauerkraut, or whatever, if you got a mustache, you got to make sure that you can fully eat that hot dog with condiments without those trace little mustache hairs.
Yeah,
kind of like dragging up on top.
Trim your stash. You just take scissors and go.
No, get the little electric trimmer,
The thing for it.
and you just give it a little meep, 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 right there on the top of the lip, just so you're making sure that you're right there. But no matter what, it doesn't look weird. Like unless you're Sam Elliott or whatever, like you don't really want that gigantic, mustache waxed, out kind of like the length on a mustache. So even for like a big beard, it's all kind of, as long as the weight of it is headed south, you can trim up everything on that upper lip.
So one of the ideas that I'm kicking around the back of my head, part of the reason I'm also keeping everything growing is just like we do cocktail videos where we talk about the history of the Vieux Carré or of the aviation or whatever. Like we could do a series of that, maybe with a razor blade sponsor, where we go through like this hairstyle, this hair. Yeah, it was popular in this time. And we talk about the history of it, and then at the end of it, we do it, and then we just rock it, and then we take turns cutting off pieces of our beard. We can get 5-6 episodes out of that.
Wow.
Number one, always at a point where growing a wacky beard and shaving it, specifically for being on the internet, was a treat. I loved doing it. Always loved trying out different weird configurations. In fact, I think it was on BB Live Show that I wound up rocking.
You were growing your first Solidarity beard with for the Penguins.
for the Penguins. Yeah, and I wound up shaving it afterward, and we went with the Wolverine. So I just had the gigantic mutton chops down there at the
It was
bottom.
great.
That was it. I mean, I actually wound up getting like compliments. In fact, weird facial hair. You will understand that there is a live wire that runs, not to get all flirting with magic, but there is a live wire that runs throughout society, and you can trigger it with different facial hairs. And some that you think look dumb, people will really respond well to. It will seem like you have confidence. It will seem like you are a man with a plan and you have interesting things going on in your life. And sometimes you'll just be almost universally called a pedophile.
So the mustache, huh? That's the pedophile.
Although now the mustache is coming back. I know way more people in today's day and age that have an unironic, like big Tom Selleck ass mustache than I ever have in my entire life. Like young people, old people, it is just coming back in a big way.
Yeah.
So maybe not now. Maybe you'd have to go with something else to be called a pedophile. Let's find out on the Modern Rogue.
Do you guys want to? I know it's Tuesday, which is normally not when we do Cord Killer stuff, but a bunch of Cord Killers.
Oh yeah,
related topics came out
R.I.P.
today.
my favorite streaming service.
So one
Fuck
thing.
that.
So PlayStation View.
Sorry,
You're
okay.
not
Open
on
Bayou
microphone.
can't contain himself. He's just rioting off screen over here.
Yeah, so PlayStation View announced that they would be shutting down at the end of January or the beginning of January 2020. So
Fucking, it was the best.
at the end of January, okay. So PlayStation View will be shutting down. I think it's weird that they weren't able to find a buyer for it because I think more than like selling it to an existing company and trying to steal their users, I think they could have sold it to someone who's not in the game and been like, here are all of these apps we've already made. You've got some amount of content and ecosystem. So I guess there's still some time, but that's happening.
I mean, but I think for them, they realize like there's no way that we can build the profit margin on top of this. This is already a commodities game that has the benefit of learning all the lessons that cable did, and we can see what happened with cable. Guess what? All these introductory prices that all these channels are getting whatever payment for on like all these other over the top services, they ain't gonna last. Everyone's going to go there, and ESPN's going to demand more money for carriage each and every year, the same way they do with cable. So for them, it's like, unless we can be number one and leverage it against other stuff, there's no other way that we can make money in there. I think it's actually smart for them to bail.
I think for Sony and specifically the PlayStation brand, you can definitely tell they are like trying to clear the decks for the new PlayStation 5 and focus on more first party development stuff. I don't know. It did seem like they were doing okay, but apparently they weren't doing quite so hot. Also, it was
now I wonder whether or not it's just the selling thing of it, and that maybe they wind up bundling these channels or a certain amount of channels into some other over the top service where it's like, hey, watch these things, but that way they don't have to have, if they put some space in between it, then it can not be like PlayStation View for free. It can be like PlayStation View is dead. We buried it, but you can watch all your local channels and ESPN and this other stuff if you sign up for whatever Sony Plus or whatever their like gamer thing is.
Yeah. Also, it was a big HBO Max day. Meryl Barr has been having just a whole day in the chat room trying to get our takes on it. HBO Max will be $15 a month. It will launch in spring 2020. And
AT&T, the fuck?
They will have a free ad-supported plan sometime in 2021. Ad-supported price to be determined in 2021. They also announced that South Park has found a buyer, and it will be HBO Max. So Hulu will lose their access to the South Park library, and that will move to HBO Max, presumably once it launches.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Rank 9 5 stars.
No thoughts.
So, yeah, we're going right by it.
To rank 4 in one day.
So this is a phone call I get from Brian, literally like as I'm going on the morning stream. is you had the run of your life today.
Yeah, dude. I sat down for a breakfast taco and a Diet Coke, and 2 hours later, I had still not lost a single game. I had never had that happen. And at some point, like, the bartender was confused, and I'm like, I'm sorry, there's this game, there's this rule, might be here all day.
So wait, so you already pay your bill, or are you like still ordering like something
she's
as this goes
like
on?
she is constantly refilling, because it's like a suck
Yeah.
down Diet Coke's like a mosquito, and then and
Yeah.
and then at some point she stopped saying another one, and instead she starts saying another. Are you okay or?
Yeah.
And so no, it's remarkable. So right now the meta is in this weird place where everybody's losing their mind with frustration at the shaman stone thing. Where it's the battle cry deck, and this thing seems to crush it. It's a
And what are you playing?
It's
because I
a-
asked you to send me the deck list, and you
here
didn't
I'll
send me the
send it
deck
to you
list.
now. But it's a Highlander Paladin deck,
Ooh.
and a Highlander.
Because I've been playing
secret-
a Highlander mage.
a Highlander
Yeah.
secret Paladin.
Ooh, I like them secrets.
So it's like everything everybody hates. Shoot, I don't know what's the best. Can I copy it from the Hearthstone app, or do I need to find it outside of
I
it?
usually have to copy it from a site. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if they have a share option. We should bring that up at their BlizzCon talk.
Oh
'cause
my
I'm sure
God, are
they're
you
very
ready?
interested?
Are you ready with your popcorn eating gif for BlizzCon?
I actually talked to Scott about this on the morning stream today, and I think we agreed that it's going to be less than you might think, and really the big thing that will determine it is like whether or not a group of people are going to do something during the like big keynote address early on, or like if somebody's willing to like risk it all and be like, hey, I'm just going to do a thing that's big and loud. And I understand that I'm not only going to get kicked out, but there's a chance that all my future BlizzCons are going to be just hanging out at the hotel lobby, waiting for my friends to get done with like watching the Q&As.
Number one, turns out you can directly copy a deck from the app in game.
Nice.
And then just text it. Also, number two, I am less expecting any one big event. I just want to see a billion people, overtly. Like, I want to see how they could possibly cover anything when everybody's wearing Free Hong Kong stuff or whatever. Like, that's what I expect is a whole bunch of cosplay with Free Hong Kong all over it.
Yeah, I guess the question is how many people are going to be willing to just immediately get kicked out? Like if they're walking in or they take off a thing and that's that. Like
Would they do that? Just
it-
like if you're cosplaying as the one character and you just have like free
May,
HK
yeah.
on there, yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe there's that. But I guess the point is like, I guess the question will be for the protesters, what do you want out of it? Do you want to embarrass Blizzard? Do you want to show solidarity with Hong Kong? Also, there's the fact that like, if there's one place that you are going to run into some mainland Chinese people that might have a difference of opinion on whether Hong Kong should not be a part of China, BlizzCon's going to be the place. Like, I don't know any other gathering where you have such an international following, and obviously those things are very popular in China. So I think it'll be interesting because like that's going to be a place where somebody could legitimately come right in your face and be like, I have a difference of opinion of this. Like, congratulations, motherfucker, you ain't on Reddit no more.
Right. Well, and I think there's just so much room for subtlety. Like, let's say everybody shows up wearing Winnie the Pooh t-shirts. What are they going to kick people out for wearing Winnie the Pooh t-shirts?
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, the question is how how Blizzard will handle it, because hopefully they have it figured out. The biggest problem is they don't talk at all in general, and that has been their strength. Is they're like, oh, we're Disney. Like, don't worry, when we're ready, like, curtain comes up, it's Overwatch, and it's ready for beta tomorrow because we secretly worked on this and we never talked to anybody. And anybody who leaks anything, we're gonna know immediately like who they are. But with this, it's like, man, did they need just somebody to hit the mob with a real quick, like, whoa, chill out. Do not take our silence to mean anything other than we're going over some stuff. Yes, it's a complicated situation. We will have a statement shortly, even just to say no news, but just we'll get to it, would have done so much before like that meta hardened of like, Blizzard is China's puppet. Fucking Chairman Xi gets free gold cards in Hearthstone. Fucking liberate Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, maybe they will, maybe they won't kick somebody in a Winnie the Pooh. I mean, I guess you really can't, right? Disney's literally right across the street. Everybody could just go buy Winnie the Pooh merch and like literally walk it across the street right on over.
Right. Well, and plus also like the next level stuff of May, like what happens when it's nothing but May cosplay? I mean, thousands and thousands.
I mean, if it's thousands of Mays, then it would just be BlizzCon. If it's thousands of Mays that have like the free Hong Kong shit on them, then that'd be that. And also, it's like,
let's say it's all Mays with one change. They just have like black smudges where the free HK was.
I mean, if that's the case, if it's something subtle, I don't think there's anything Blizzard can do about it. But I would not be shocked if part and parcel of a ticket is no protesting. And if they take something that you're doing for protesting, then you will be asked to change that. But like that BlizzCon, I mean, because also it's like, look, I think you could look at it from their perspective and be like, hey, look, if we just allow a gigantic pro Hong Kong protest, then what happens when there's a pro-life protest, or what happens when there's
look, I
something
understand.
else?
Look, I mean, I lasted all 5 days before I jumped through those moral hoops to get back to playing the game. But unlike the Area 51 idea, at BlizzCon, they really can't stop them all from all wearing, red armbands or whatever their outward display of their take is.
I guess that would be, I mean, the next level idea would be, hey, we're all into this other thing now, right? This super cool, like, here's my TikTok, my favorite new TikTok video called the Red Armband Dance. And boy, like, we love doing that. And it's like, that's what we're here for. It just so happens to be the same thing that, Hong Kong is using as their iconography, but that's that.
Yeah.
Somebody can I ask you this?
On the phone. Somebody called me on the phone and demanded to know if I was going to join Team Trees.
What? Okay, so I need to ask you, because I have no idea what the fuck any of this is. I'm at Politicon. I may or may not have been half in the bag, to be totally honest with you. And all of a sudden, I see you going on a tirade about how you don't, like, you're like angry about the trees, and all I see is trees, and people are talking about trees. I don't know what is going on. Can you please explain to me what the fuck is happening?
Basically, they put together a collaboration video. First of all, Arbor Day Foundation is a fine foundation. They plant trees. Trees are really great. Separately, there was a paper that suggested if we had 1 trillion more trees that could offset global warming. That paper has been since eviscerated because 2/3 of all the carbon sequestration happens in the oceans, not on land, and is totally debunked. But don't tell that to the YouTubers, because Mr. Beast is about to hit 20 million subscribers, and to celebrate, he wants at $1 per tree. He got a whole bunch of people to jump on a giant cross collaboration where everybody agrees that everybody should donate $20 to. All we need is 1 million of us to donate $20 to this Arbor Day Foundation, and at $1 per tree, we can get 20 million trees by the end of the year. Somewhere, I've only seen one or two of the videos, but somewhere in enough of the videos, the message has been phrased in such a way that it has given license to the average YouTuber. So picture the average YouTube commenter to feel like
a stately, reasonable operator.
They have somehow crafted a narrative where people genuinely perceive they're helping by going channel to channel and all caps shouting, join Team Trees. Why aren't you on Team Trees? You should. When is? Why haven't? And I think that they're experiencing a giant case of the blowback effect. And that was what I was saying on Twitter is, look, trees, cool, forum, 100%, campaigns, collaborations, love all of it. Campaigns where some part of it, either intentionally or by lack of attention, unintentionally, has fostered a culture of causing harassment to uninvolved YouTubers, demanding that they get on board. Not so much on board for that, and the end result is that, ironically, the more of that harassment happens, the less likely. Like I'm about to ready to start cutting down my own trees, just as revenge on this, and I know that's not what they want.
So it's one of those things where it's like you can't really fault the people that started it, but you can certainly say, hey, if you have 20 million subscribers and you're going to launch a thing, you should it is incumbent upon you to have some etiquette on how to approach people. And it should be a formalized, like, hello, good sir, might you consider joining Team Trees? Link below, or whatever, as opposed to like, fuck you, piece of shit.
Yep.
Why are you fucking hate trees?
Also, Open Bio
asshole.
Live right here in studio nailed it. It's the new Cody 2012. Like I
haven't seen like harassing comments. I don't look at the Modern Rogue comments, so I know we've only gotten a handful on Scam Nation, but they've seemed, inquisitive. I haven't been able to read them in a harassing tone.
All caps. Join #Team Trees. That's and then why haven't you, or when will you, or whatever, just all of it. It seems to be clumsily executed to the point of just being so much noise and there's no invitation. And I think that if I had been asked, I would say, for something to gain momentum, it has to start small. It can't start off already looking like the Empire and then have the message be, why are you not already on the Empire's team? It's that is not a seductive. The message as it is presented to me in the one-note ways that it has, up to and including calling my personal phone number, having a fan who refuses to give me his name and say, well, I have a question for you. Are you going to join Team Trees? Pretty creepy, pretty unhelpful, pretty hostile. Very unlikely I'm going to join your tree thing when that is the way I am being invited to it, No explanation of what's on the other side. And plus also, for pennies on the dollars, we can actually buy up rainforest and save existing trees that from being burned down. So it's a
you should reach out and tell them
sell.
that.
What's that?
You should reach out and tell them that.
I think I did.
I'm saying if your issue is no one's invited you, I don't know who you would talk to.
But I don't want to be
have
hostile. I mean, it's
2
like I ain't got a dog in this fight. I wasn't invited to this dance. All I know is that everybody's, shouting juggalo shit at my un-ICS my un-ICP related event, and it's.
Okay. I mean, look, I totally get where you're coming from on a strictly like, the fuck, you tell me, I'll tell you what to do every day. Like, why are you yelling at me? Like, get out of here. Like, I totally get, like, at a certain point, it's like, I'm sure the first few you saw that are like join Team Trees, you're like, oh, I wonder what this Team Trees is. Oh, look at that. Oh, scamps. I hope they buy 1 billion trees. And then, when they keep coming, it's just like, I don't know. Why don't you wear pants on your head?
Plus, also,
like, what are you telling me what to do?
here's the other thing is that you can smell when you have been approached too late. Like, I got approached too late for it to be worth my investment to join the Ice Bucket Challenge. like that's like, it would be less cool for me to very clearly be going along with the program at that point. And so
in the latter stages of
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what this felt like just upon launch. And so I'm just like, ooh, that's going to be tough to make me feel like not
did you
just a
consider
come-along guy.
Did you consider lying and just saying, "Oh, I already donated"?
Well, no. It's if people were saying donated, then that's fine. It's like, yeah, here's what.
But that's
But
the
you
thing.
can
It's like,
you can distract that. You can.
but you could change. Yeah, exactly. I'm saying you could change the thing. It's like join Team because they want you to do a video where you say Team Trees is the best because like you're paying it forward. You're like a weird chain letter, and like that's how they're gonna flip your like thing is that they bother you until you do a thing. But you could say like, hey, look, I donated.
I think I totally could do that, and I think I could totally lend my voice if it weren't so universal. And I don't have the bandwidth to invest to figure out how we got here, but at its core, I've not received one invitation that didn't boil down to get with the program. Why haven't you already gotten with the program? And all of that triggers at a massive, deep level, like fucking, I ain't joining your tree Nazi party, whatever. Fucking, I'm out. No.
Yeah. Now, for the record, in my advice, I'd be lying about donating. So, like, I would totally just lie just so people stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Seems better than internalizing it.
Well, I think I'm far from internalizing it. I think I'm very much externalizing it.
Sure. But I know
I've been very upfront about my opinions on all of this.
But I know it's been on your mind the past week or so.
Oh,
you talked about it every time I've been
on the Twitter thing is just like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this harassment? You know, who does a campaign this way? This is a crazy way to do a campaign. And really, after that, it was fine. But then days later,
but also, like,
getting phone calls and shit, I'm just like, all right, this is somebody accidentally started a tree Nazi mob, and I'm gonna bet that a number of actors have acted. I would be surprised. How can I put this?
Do you think someone made a video saying go harass other YouTubers to do this thing?
I think that enough people have said enough soft things. And again, I'm projecting this. I don't know this. Here's what I know for a fact.
Because
there is a culture. Everyone who has said anything has said it
all
in
YouTuber commenters.
A get with the program kind of way, which is a very poor argument. So that tells, like, that doesn't happen by accident. Like, you set your own culture, and not that they did it intentionally. And I think accident. I think it was just something in the message was poorly crafted, and an artifact of it is now that you have all of these 12-year-olds who think they're helping, shouting and calling my personal cell phone and that shit. And all my only take is it's not helping. It's not a good idea, and it's not likely to get me on the Tree Nazi team.
Okay.
Yeah, but I already donated. See, it's that easy. Like, it doesn't even have to be true. Like, you could just say words. Like, these lies, man, they're fucking great. Dude, like, and also it's like if the lies feel better when you're lying to somebody who's already a dick. Like, it's basically like it's like diet lies. All the great value of lying, so much less guilt about doing it because you're like, this person's terrible. I'll just feed him a lie.
By the way, I'm thrilled that it's doing so well, and I hope they make.
You did just call them the Nazi tree party.
Well, yes, that is definitely their sales pitch, and it's a poor sales pitch. I would strongly advise them to add some nuance to what they're telling the mobs to do. They're using mob justice.
No.
Clumsiness of mob.
I'm totally with Brian on this.
Really?
That to a certain extent, when you know you are on a loud platform, and if you're at 20 million viewers, you certainly should be. I mean, I think Brian would take that at 2 million on Modern Rogue, or 1 million, or sorry, on 2 million on Scam Nation, and 1 million on Modern Rogue. That you have to understand, and we do it on this. We always say, if you're gonna go out, if we're review bombing something, if we're compliment bombing something, like, it has to be art on some level. So by the time that we went and did talk to that guy with the compliment bomb, we could be like, the joke is, okay, I said a thing about I went out and bought Blackwater or whatever. So it's like, you have to give, if you're sending out your people to go interact with others, right? And on some level, if this was let's make the biggest collab ever, you can reasonably assume that now your very excited audience, either for the meme or because they really believe it, are gonna go recruit new converts. That just having one little, like, guys, just say this. If you're talking to your friends, talking to your family, you're talking to other YouTubers, just say Team Trees, boyo, or whatever, like, and just let's make that the meme. Because then if there's the few people that are assholes to Brian and are like, hey, fuck face, fucking why do you hate trees, you piece of shit, it's in a sea of like, tree team boyo, like, come, like, together we march toward adventure or something, and you're like, oh, whimsical, like, maybe I just want to be part of the whimsy and I'll go along with it. And now everybody who's behaving badly looks like they're behaving badly, as opposed to being the point of the message. I think that there is a little bit of foresight that you can say is reasonable to people with gigantic platforms.
Yeah, and I'm not making a value judgment on, on anything, just outside of pointing out that it is an unfortunate. However we got here, we are at the unfortunate place where somebody's standing up on the McDonald's countertop demanding Szechuan sauce. And I don't think that's what they wanted. I don't think anybody wanted that. But somebody is standing up demanding some Szechuan sauce.
And that's the thing, is that, like, when you heard, Dan Harmon or
Justin
Roiland talk about it, it was like the most annoying thing was that we made a joke about this thing at McDonald's, and then McDonald's ran an unpaid for. They took that and said, oh, then I guess we don't have to pay for the fact that we're re-releasing this sauce, and we're going to use Rick and Morty font, and we're going to act as if this was a brand activation that they would otherwise have to pay for. And at the end of the day, it boiled down to the Rick and Morty team couldn't control on any level what was happening. They couldn't control the messaging with their social media. They couldn't control the expectations of when things were getting there. It was just totally out of their hands because they dared to make a joke about how Rick fucking wanted this random sauce from, like, back in the day.
Yeah. But I'll be interested to see if I was going to guess, and this is not me having a dog in the fight either way. Personally, I hope they buy all the trees on the planet. But if I was going to guess the way this plays out is, I think they're apparently like 1/3 of their way to the goal. I don't know how they buy themselves a groundswell to get all the way to 20 over the next 2 months. Just because, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what storytelling elements you do to bring that.
Real quick. I mean, number one, flipping their number one critic, Brian Brushwood. I'm sure that really starts
oh
things
God,
off.
Please, I swear to God, that would be the thing I would want least in the world. I mean, oh my God, please, nobody. I don't. Oh God, no.
Look at this. Captain Fubar says, you guys, Brian and Justin can't even control us. We've taken your campaigns and jokes and ran too far with it. 100% people have ran too far with jokes. However, what we try to do at the end of the day is at least say, like, if you're interacting with people, try to do it in this way. That is a concerted effort by Brian and I, because we do know that somebody will run too far with it. And so the only thing that you can control is, all right, everyone who's playing the game correctly does this in a way that either comes off very clearly as a joke or is out and out like complimenting. Like that's like the compliment bomb was built on that idea. Like, what can we do with a raging horde of internet demons plant flowers in their yard without them asking? Like that's the biggest.
To be honest, even something as simple as, guys, go for it. Instead of go out and get them by shouting, even something like, everyone go out, do your best used car salesman. Ask everyone, what's it going to take to get you here over on Team Trees? And then great. Yeah. Now you're having a discussion and we can go somewhere, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, again, I think Brian's optimal phrase up top was we are dealing with YouTube folk. You know, many of them are very young. Many of them are very excited. Many of them, you know, they got their own way of thinking about stuff. And so, like, the issue is probably could have used a little bit more guidance, but look at them.
God, but also, I mean, how many YouTubers, what was it, like 200 top tier channels are all cooperating on that? I mean, how do you, in a highly collaborative, semi-autonomous or most completely autonomous collective of folks, I mean, how do you even guide that message and get that in there?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not even going to get into because I really don't understand how YouTube works enough to even comprehend what they've done thus far, let alone how they could do it better. But I don't know. I mean, I guess what Elon Musk just apparently donated $1 million or whatever. So who knows? I mean,
you know what? Actually, that is a really good point. That is a way that you could go. I stand by my initial claim that it's like being too late to the ice bucket challenge for videos being made about it. Like, guys, I just heard about Team Trees, so I'm on that team too. But when you get to that level and you have people of means like Elon Musk, then that is how you get across that 20 million line pretty quick.
By the way, who probably has kids. Trees? Probably has kids that watch YouTube and are like, Dad, we should donate to Team Trees.
Oh man, you know what? And then in that regard, it actually it does kind of make me think that that would be a successful tactic. It's like, all right, shut up, kid.
I mean, Jesus, yeah. If you could literally just market only to children of rich kids who are watching popular YouTube channels, like, yeah, just ask your mom or dad, do you make over $1 million a year? If the answer is yes, ask them for this percentage of what they make and don't shut up until they give it. It's for charity.
Yeah. I had the idea, like at that spooktacular thing, there was like, I don't know, 6 cars and they were pretty decked out for trunk or treating with different themes. There was a Star Wars theme over here, you know, a ghost theme and so on. And it occurred to me that, like, I took pride in our little tiny community for everybody to like really bring in their decoration game or whatever. But then I realized, I was like, how do you engender that? How do you create that? And the thought that popped into my mind is that you distribute flyers on the school bus, letting all the kids in the neighborhood know as they're coming home that there's not only is there going to be trunk or treating at the spooktacular thing, but that there'll be a grand prize for the best decoration, and it's going to be a PlayStation 4. So then all the kids are getting their parents in to like bring their A-est of games for their decorations.
Oh yeah. Totally. I mean, I would freak out about it. Get a free fucking console. Hell yeah.
Man, did we depress everything with Tree Talk?
I don't know, man. I don't even know. I didn't even know what was going on before it. I don't even know.
I still don't know, man.
I don't even know. I mean, for real though, like, did you think that The Buttress of Windsor was a book? Because I always kind of thought it was a book. I did. And then I was Googling, like, I wonder what The Buttress of Windsor's about. Like last night, I was just like, I wonder what it's about. And then I looked it up.
Did you find out?
yeah, I found a message board from like 1999 that was like, Buttress of Windsor isn't real.
Wait, is it not real?
It's not real,
I totally thought it was real.
right?
And it had that perfect
out
kind of
this
name
book,
that I even was
The
convinced that
Buttress
I'd heard
of
it before.
Windsor. Yeah. God damn it. The Buttress of Windsor. We would no, it's Double Team by Tenacious D.
Yeah, look at that.
Get a little stretch and a bend. Check out this book, The Buttress of Windsor. I feel like I should get that on a shirt.
The Buttress of Windsor
The
is not a
Buttress
real
of
book.
Windsor is not a real book. You know, that'll show people. Fucking spreading the word. It's getting smoky up here, Bri.
What do you mean? Oh,
Talk about trees.
Can you smell
We're on-
the fires?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Is that how close
they're
are they?
burning? There was one in Vallejo on Sunday that was terrifying. Did you see that footage?
No.
Bryce, look up this Vallejo bridge fire. But go ahead and check that out. Like the footage here was fucking insane. It was like Universal Studios like stunt tour or whatever. But that one went
Is this a viral campaign that they've got?
but yeah, this is just driving the bridge.
Holy shit.
Yeah, right?
Holy shit.
That is a conflagration, friends.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was wild. And there still are the fires up north of us past that. So yeah, I mean it's they're still doing the rolling blackouts. I can't imagine that anybody in the leadership of PG&E can still be there. Like, just leave tomorrow. Leave. Take your golden parachute and get the fuck out. Honestly, you have failed to protect this city. Get the fuck out. You are done.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Do you have are you doing the full on bug out bag? Like having some kind of getaway plan or whatever? Are you going prepper?
No, we live a little bit too close to like water and stuff like that for us. Nor do we live really particularly close to a large gathering of trees that I think that we would necessarily be an issue. Although Ashley is actually peacing out tomorrow because the smoke, she just cannot handle the smoke. And so she is getting the fuck out of Dodge for a couple days just because last year we had to deal with it and she was like sick. I think she was still coughing when we met up in Vegas for Tenacious D. Now we're tying everything back together. And in Vegas, like she was still hacking at the end of December when like there had been forest fires around this time last year. So she's peacing out while it's bad, and hopefully it'll be more contained when she gets back.
Well, that's cool, man. I guess we're at midnight. You want to wrap her on up?
Let's call her.
Dude, good times.
Yup. Yeah, man. Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. We will see you next week.
I love trees.
Bye, everybody.